Hello guys, how you doing today? In our last class, we talked about subtraction and addition of whole numbers. In this class, we gonna talk about multiplication of whole numbers. So um, we're gonna have the opportunity to understand how we do things when it comes to multiplication. So, what does it mean to do multiplication? If I say 1 times 3, or I say what is the product of 1 and 3? That is one of the things that we're going to learn today. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe so you can keep getting videos like this. If you are not new to the channel, I appreciate you coming back to watch my videos, and I hope that you learn quite from it. So let's go into this class. So what does it mean when you see 1 times 3? What does it mean? Usually 1 times 3 is 3. Because I want to teach you what it means when I say multiply or what's the product. If you can understand the basic principle of multiplication, then it's going to be easy to understand it as we go up from this simple method of multiplying when we start doing the harder ones. So 1 times 3 is 3. That's the answer. But why is 1 times 3 3? What do we mean when we say 1 times 3? This sign right here, what does this sign mean? Well, let me break it down for you. When we say 1 times 3, what we are saying is add number 1 3 times. That's what we're saying. Add 1 3 times. That's what we're saying. When we write this thing like this, 1 times 3, what we are really saying is add 1 3 times. So in that case, I'll have 1, okay, 1 plus 1 plus 1. And 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so that is what it means when we say 1 times 3. Okay, so 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. If we say 1 times 5, what is 1 times 5? So using the same logic here, it's going to be add 1 5 times. So you have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So you have 1 plus 1 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4 plus 1 5. So that's what we mean by the multiply sign. We are saying add this number x number of times, right? So let me clear this off real quick. So that's what we mean by that. So one thing you should know is 1 multiplied by any number in math, 1 multiplied by any number is that number. Okay, is that number. So if I have 1 times 5, it's going to be 5. If I have 1 times 1,000, it's going to be 1,000. If I have 1 times 100,000, it's going to be 100,000. Okay, so that's first thing you should remember. 1 multiplied by any number is equal to that number. So 1 times 5 is going to be 5. 1 times 1,000 is going to be 1,000. 1 times 100,000 is going to be 100,000. In the same way, 1 times 0 is going to be 0. Okay, so 1 multiplied by any number is equal to that number. And we can say this because it's going to be difficult if you have to write. It's easy for you to write 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Yeah, it's easy, 5 times. But when you have to write 1 times 1,000, that means you have to write 1,000 times. That is too much work. So we don't want to do that. So that's why I give you the simple rule that 1 times any number is equal to that number. So you don't have to write out all this, the number 5 times, because this number can be 3. So that's what it means to say multiply. You're seeing you're adding that number multiple times. So And then you also know that 1 times 0 is 0. Okay, 1 times 0 is 0. Also, 0 multiplied by any number is 0. So if I have 0 times 5, it's going to be 0. Because what this means is I have 0 5 times. Had 0 5 times. So if I had 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to still be 0. That's what it means. So that's what that times really mean. To do something, to add something X number of times. Okay, so do we understand that? So now that we understand that, we can go to more advanced version. So when I say 2 times 3, what is 2 times 3? I know 2 times 3 is 6. But how do I get 6? Because I'm saying add 2 3 times. So that means I'm going to say 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's what I'm really saying. Add 2 3 times. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. If I have 2 times 5, what would I give it? That means add 2 5 times. So that will be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. So 2 times 5 is 10. So now you understand the idea behind multiplication, what it really means. What is the mathematics behind multiplication? That way, you can understand what we mean by multiplication. You can understand what it means when we say multiply this by this. Another example, let's say we multiply 6 times 9. What is 6 times 9? I think it's 54, right? But how do we get this 54? Again, by that rule, we are saying that 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 6, that's 5, plus 6, that's 6, plus 6, that's 7, plus 6, that's 8, plus 6, that's 9. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 plus 6 is 30. 30 plus 6 is 36. 36 plus 6 is 42. 42 plus 6 is 48. 48 plus 6 is 54. So that is how we have that's how we get this answer right here. Okay, that's how we get this answer right here. So now that we know that, so far we've been doing multiplication of single numbers. We've been doing single digit numbers, right? 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 9 times 5, 9 times 9. But what if we are giving a question to say multiply to multiply 12 times 13? How do you do that? You can also do the same one by saying I'm going to write 12. I'm going to add 12 13 times. Okay, you can do that. You can do it this way and all the way to 13 times, right? But it is not best. It's a waste of time, especially if you are taking an exam. It's a waste of time. So there's an easier way to do that. And how do we do that? So if you are giving 12 times 13, okay, so what you do, you write 12, okay, you write 13 below it, okay, and you put a times sign, okay, this sign, you put that there. So you have 12 times 13. So the first thing you want to do, you want to multiply, you want to take this number at the bottom. I'm going to change the color so we understand what we're talking about. So we're going to use this number at the bottom, this number right here, this 3 number, okay. We're going to multiply 3 times 2, so you're going to have 3 times 2. That's the first one we're going to do. 3 times 2. Again, don't forget that 3 times 2 means 3 in 2 places, which is 3 plus 3, which is 6, right? So 3 times 2 is 6. So what you're going to do, you're going to write a 6 down here. 3 times 2 is 6. That's the first thing you do. So you take this first number, you multiply it by this number. So you take this, multiply by that, okay? And after you're done, you take the same number and multiply by this one. So that will be 3 times 1, okay? So that's how you do it. Watch what I do. I start from right to left. So you're going to start your multiplication from right to left. So you're going this way, okay? You're going that way from right to left. So you take the rightmost ones first. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Then 3 times 1 is equal to 3. So you write a 3 down. here. Okay. Then when you're done with that, you're going to now start with the second one, the second number, which is this number right here. And I'm going to change the color of that. That way it's easy for you to follow. So we're going to start with this one times this one. So we're going to do 1 times 2. And that will give you 2. 1 times 2 really mean add 1 2 times or twice. So 2. So where are you going to write this? You're not going to write the 2 here because you're working with this number now. So you're going to write your 2 here. Okay? You're going to write your 2 on the same line as you started. So for the first one, we'll write our first number on the rightmost part, our second number on this one. So the first number is going to start here, and the second one is going to start beside. So you're left with 1 times 1. So you now do 1 times 1. And 1 times 1, by our rule, 1 multiplied by any number is that number. So it's going to be 1. So I'm going to write my 1 here. Okay. So now that we've figured everything now, the next thing is to now add this number together. Okay. We're going to add it together. Okay. So I'm going to put a plus sign here. So this is actually 0. We don't write it, but it's actually 0. So 6 plus 0 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then this is also 0 here, but we don't usually write it. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So what this means is that when you multiply 12 times 13, you are going to get 156. That's going to be your answer. 12 times 13 is 156. Okay. Let's do another example. I'm going to clear this out. Let's do a second example. Assuming you are given 25 times 3. You can do it two ways. You can do it the original definition of multiplication by saying 25 times 3 means add 25 3 times, which is 25 plus 25 plus 25. You can do that. 25 plus 25 is 50. 50 plus 25 is 75. That's your answer, right? But again, we don't want to do that. We're going to go it another way. So we're going to say 25, just like I taught you earlier, 25 times 3. You can write 25 times 3, okay? I'm going to draw a line here. That's how you do your math. So first thing first is 3 times 5. Again, you can do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 in 5 places. But at this stage, I want you to memorize your multiplication table. If you've not done that, I think I'm going to quickly work on that. So 3 times 5 is 15. So we're going to write 15, right? So we're going to write 3 times 5, like I did earlier, is 15. Okay? Now, because this number, this 15, is greater than 10. This 15 number is greater than 10. I'm not going to write 15 here. If I write 15 here, that will be wrong. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write 5, just this 5. I'm going to write 5, okay? I'm going to write 5, and I'll be left with 1. So I'm going to take that 1 and put that 1 right here, okay? So now I'm going to do 3 times 2 is 6. And then I'm going to add that 6 to this 1. So I'm going to do 3 times 2, okay, plus 1. So that's how you do it. 3 times 2 plus 1. So that means 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1. So you have 7. So this is going to be 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. It's going to be 7. So remember we said 25 times 3 is 75. So 25 times 3 here is 75. That's how we do it. Let's do another example. How about we do 25? I'm going to switch to black now. What about we do 25 times 4? 25 times 4 is 100. But how do we get 100? Again, let's use what we already learned. 25 times 4. Okay? So we're going to say 4 times 5. That's the first thing we do. 4 times 5. 4 times 5 means 4 in 5 places. Add it together. So 4 times 5 is 20. 20, okay? In our previous example, we say we're not going to write the whole 20, okay? We're going to write this number first, the rightmost number. We're going to write that, okay? We're going to put that right here, and then we'll put a 2 right here at the top, okay? So the next one is going to be 4 times 2. So we're going to write 4 times 2, bracket, plus that 2, this remaining 2, put it right here, okay? So 4 times 2 is 8, so you have 8 plus 2, okay? So 8 plus 2 is 10, so now you're going to write 10 right here. So 25 times 4 is 100. I'm going to do one more example so you can see how we did this, okay? One more example, and then we're going to go to double digits for both sides. So another example we have, say we have this number, we have, let me take this off. Say we have 23 times, say, times 6. 23 times 6, what is that? So again, the way you do it, you write 23, okay? 23, and then times 6. So again, what you have to do is write down 6 times 3. What is 6 times 3? 6 times 3 is 18, okay? So like I said, you're not going to write 18. You're going to write just 8. So I'm going to put 8 right here, okay? Now keep this one because we're going to add it together. So 6 times 2, we're going to write 6 times 2, okay? It's 12, right? So don't forget this one. So that will become 6 times 2, okay, plus 1. So you have 12 plus 1, which is 13. So now your answer is going to be, going to write at 13, right? So that's 138. So 23 times 6 is 138. So let's go and do double digit numbers for both bottom and top. So assuming you are given to multiply 14 times 21. What is 14 times 21? It's very easy. We're going to do it the same way we did the other one. So we're going to write 14. We're going to write 21. Okay. We're going to put it times right here. Okay. So again, we're going to start from the left side, from the right side. We're going to say 1, this and this one. 1 times 4, that's equal to 4. Okay. So we're going to write a 4 right here. Then we're going to do this. I'm going to call this A, B, C, D. So we're going to do C and B now. So 1 times 1 is equal to what? 1. So we're going to write 1 right here. Right here. Then we're going to do the 2 times 4. So we're going to do 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So we'll write 8 right here. So we're going to write our 8 below this one. Then the next one is going to be 2 times 1, which is equal to 2. So we're going to write a 2 just beside the 8. Okay? That's what we're going to do. So now we can add these numbers together. Okay? Once we add the numbers together, that'll be 4. This is 0 right here. This is just 0. So 4 plus 0 is 4. So I'm going to put 4 right there. And then 1 plus 8 is 9. So I'm going to put 9 right there. And then this is also 0. So 0 plus 2 is 2. So our answer is 294. So that means when I times 14 times 21, we should get 294. That's what our answer is going to be. Okay. Let's do one more example so we can wrap this up. One more example. So we're going to do, we're given to multiply 35 times say 18. Let's make it harder. 35 times 18. As a matter of fact, let's make it more harder. 35 times 180. So we have 3 numbers now. 3 numbers, 2 numbers right here. So the principle is the same. 35 times 18, what does it mean? So again, because this 180 is a larger number, write it at the top. So you have 180. 35 is a smaller number, write it at the bottom, 35. Okay. So now let's start. The same thing we did, we're going to start from the bottom, multiply by the rightmost first. So that will be 5 times 0. So you have 5 times 0. 0 multiplied by any number is 0. So this is going to be 0. Okay. So we're going to write 0 right here. So we're going to write 0 right here. Okay. They want to do the same thing. 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. Okay. Again, like we said, we are not going to write a whole 40 because 40 is greater than 10. So we're not going to write a whole 40. We're going to write just 0. I'm going to keep the 4. Okay. Just like we did in our previous example. So now we're going to do 5 times 1. So 5 times 1 is not going to be 5 times 1. So now we're going to bring this 4 that we kept. Going to be plus 4, just like we did in the previous example. So 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4. So this will give us 9. So we're going to write 9 right here. Okay. So the next one we're going to do now is 3. We've just finished the 5. Now we're going to do the 3. We're going to do the same thing. Start from this spot right here and go this way. So we're going to do 3 times 0. 3 times 0. Any number times 0 is usually 0, so it's going to be 0. So we're going to write our 0 right here, and then we're going to do 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. 24 is greater than 10, so we can't write all the 24. We have to write 4 and keep 2. So let me take this off right here. So I'm going to write 4 and keep 2, right? So I'm going to write 4 and keep 2. So now I have 3 times 1. So I'm going to write 3 times 1 bracket plus that 2 that we kept. Okay. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2. So that gives me 5. I'm going to write 5 right here. So now it's time to add up all these numbers. Again, when you see this is 900 and this is 54. Okay. So this is going to be 0, 0. 9 plus 4 is 13. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 is greater than 10, so I can't write the whole 13. I'm going to write 3 and keep 1, so I'm going to write 3. Then this is 0 here, so this is going to be 0 plus 5 plus that one that we kept. So that is going to be 0 plus 5 is 5 plus 1. So this is going to be 6. I'm going to write my 6 right here. So what does that mean? That means that 35 times 180 is equal to 6,300. That is the answer. 35 times 180 is 6,300. So that is how you multiply whole numbers. If you don't know your times table, I'm going to advise to go back and revise your times table. But a times table is going to teach you 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3, 1 times 4, all to 1 times 12. It's going to give the answer to that. And then your job is to memorize that number. So 1 times 1 is going to be 1. So 1 multiplied by any number is that number. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 12. And then you're also going to try and memorize 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3, 2 times 4, all the way down to 2 times 12. Okay. So if you have not already memorized that, it's going to be very helpful to memorize that number, because when you memorize that number, then it's going to be easy to multiply numbers. That means that if you know your times table, you can multiply any number whatsoever. Take, for example, which is going to be the final one. If you are given to multiply, I'm just going to write a random number. So you're given to multiply 385 times 123. If you know your times table from 1 to 12, you'll be able to do this, because this is actually very easy. All you have to do is write, I'm going to reduce the weight, is write 385 times 123, and then use the rule that we did. So we're going to start from 3 times 5 is 15, but because it is more than 10, you cannot write 15, you have to write 5. So you're going to write 5 right here, and you're going to keep that one. So you're going to do 3 times 8. So you're going to start 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, so you're going to 3 times 8 bracket plus 1, this one right here. So that'll be 24 plus 1. So that's 25. Again, 25 is greater than 10. You can write the whole 25. So you have to write 5 and keep 2. So I'm going to put 5 right here and keep 2. So the next one is 3 times 3. 3 times 3. Then plus 2 because I have 2. So this is going to be 9. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 2. That's 11. So now that I've gone to the end, I can now write 11. So I'm going to write, even though it's more than 10, I can write the whole 11 because there's nothing more. So we'll write 11. 1 and 1. Okay. Going to do the same thing for the second number, starting from the right. So this 2, I'm going to do 2 times 5, which is 10. So because this is 10, this is more than 9, sorry. This is more than 9. I can't write 10, I have to write 0. Okay, so I'm going to put 0 right here. At the bottom right here, 0. And I have 1 left, okay? So 2 times 8 is going to be, the second one is going to be 2 times 8 plus my 1. So this is going to be 16 plus 1, and that will be 17. But again, I can't write 17 because 17 is greater than 9, okay? So I'm going to write 7. I'm going to keep 1, okay? Then I'm going to do 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 plus the 1 that we kept. So that will be 6 plus 1. That is 7. So I'm going to write 7 right here. So we are getting to the end of it. The next one's going to be the 1. We're going to start with 1. So that'll be 1 times 5 is 5. So I'm going to write 5 right here. Then I'm going to have 1 times 8 is 8. So I'm going to write 8 right here. Then I have 1 times 3 is 3. So I'm going to write 3 right here. Okay. So now all we have to do is add these numbers together. So this is going to be, you can put a 0 here. Okay. Just to make it easy for you, if that's okay. So 5 plus 0 plus 0 is going to be 5. 5 plus 0 plus 0 is going to be 5 also. 1 plus 7 is going to be 8. And 8 plus 5 is going to be 13. 13 is greater than 9. So we can write 13. I'm going to write 3 and carry 1. So you have 1 plus 7 plus 8. 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 1. So 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. But we can't write 17. We have to write 7. Okay. And we have 1 left. So you have 3. So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So you're going to have 4 right here. So that means that 385 times 123 is 47355. And if you use your calculator, that's what you're going to get. So this is how you can do multiplication of whole numbers without using a calculator. It's very, very useful to know how to do these, because if you know how to do these, then you can manipulate any numbers you want. Now, you may be asking, why is it that we don't write, if it's more than 9, why is it that we don't write numbers that is more than 9 within multiplication? That's because the whole numbers, we only have 10 digits in the whole number, and that 10 digits is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We don't have 10 as a digit in the decimal system, because 10 is a combination of two numbers. It's a combination of 1 and 0. Okay, so anything that's greater than 9, when you do multiplication like this or addition, whatever it is, you can't just put down that 10. You have to put down the number beside it. So if you have 25, you have to put this number down, and then the next one you're gonna have to add this number to it. That's why we do what we do. So as you get advanced in mathematics, you will find it. You will now begin to understand what it means to multiply. What does this sign really mean? You know, now that you know what that sign means, as you advance in your mathematics, you understand the concept, and you can do more. You can do more by understanding the underlying principle behind the multiplication sign. This X sign right here. You know what it really means. It's just saying add. So if you have n and you have m right here, it means If I'm going to write out in English, it means add n m number of times. That's what this whole thing really means. That's what it means. Okay, so that's what it means. So that in that case, if I have 3 times 2, it means add 3 2 times, which is 3 plus 3, and that'll be 6. So 9 n times m is really n plus m. Okay, times. So put times right here. Okay, so that's what it means. So if m is 2 times, so it's going to be 2m. If m is 5, it's going to be n. It's going to be n plus 5. So if any number you see right here is going to be what it means. Okay, so that is for today's class. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. I will comment. If you have any question, put a comment and I will respond to the comments. Again, thank you for watching and have a great day.